What's going on, guys? It's your boy John the Liquidator coming back with another video. So we'll look like Keith Porter break down what it's like training Caitlin Clark and preparing her for the WNBA season. Guys, for this one here, we got to go all the way up to Indy. Let's get it. Let's go. Now, we know the workout videos has been coming out of the Indy pipeline. That is of Caitlin Clark getting ready for the 2025 season. Now, something else that went down this week was none other than the Indiana Fever player and development coach, Keith Porter, speaking with Rachel Dementa about pretty much landing a job in Indiana, what it's like preparing any player for the season, and how the Indiana Fever is going to look. Now, this is a big part of why I want to react to this, because he's setting insight on how the Fever is going to look for the 2025 season. That is something that we really need to pay attention to. And he spoke about a lot of stuff, man. Obviously, we're not going to react to this whole video, but something that I will be react to is about half of it. Kind of listen to it. I have not synced the video yet. I want to be transparent with y'all. Your boy John Liquidator is going to be watching this right here with y'all live, but I have not synced this yet. So I thought it would be a good treat since the videos came out, just to watch this with y'all. And I told y'all I was going to do it this week regardless. So with all that being said, man, let's pull up some of this interview. And yeah, man, let's get our reaction on to what he had to say, man. It's a great interview from what I've seen from the reviews. I haven't seen anything bad, or anybody say anything bad about it. But let's check it out, man.
So let's talk about these workouts with Caitlin.
Yes.
You talked about it in another podcast that you were just excited to have the opportunity to be able to work with Caitlin, obviously one of the biggest stars that we have ever seen in women's basketball. What goes into it when you are preparing that first workout for Caitlin?
Oh my God, so I write up everything, every workout I'm writing up. So it was a lot of writing this up, scrapping that, ripping that paper up, doing it again. I love the plan workout. So it was really just going back, first watching all of our games against Connecticut, and just seeing what she did well, what she didn't do well in, and then just watching her games and just getting really familiar with how like her body moves on the court. And for me, it's mostly kind of fine tuning in this time of year, right? I love to fine tune and just add like one or two more pieces that can, complement her natural game, not changing too much. So it was a lot of over prepping for the workouts, but everything is going great in this first month.
So you're maybe a little bit nervous for that first one?
Yeah, always. I always get nervous for all my workouts with pros, because you want it to be great.
I just want to pause it right there. So that shows you the type of coach that he is. He's going back, looking at the games, how she looked at, what she could work on, obviously, but it just shows you an insight of his preparation and getting a player ready for that next level, and that is hopefully getting further into the playoffs. Let's check out the rest of this clip.
Full court press, face guarded, double teamed. And even through that, as a rookie, even coming off a full season in the NCAA, all the way to the championship game, playing literally every minute on the court, through all of that, through all the defenses, she was still able to break through. She was still able, we saw all the records she broke. She was still able to score. She was still able to facilitate. She was still able to stay on the court. What is that thing in her game that can just make her absolutely unstoppable? Because she was near unstoppable last season.
Mm-hmm. So I give y'all a little bit of what we're working. I can't give you everything. I got to wait until the season.
I understand.
So the season comes, but for her, like just pace, like the stuff you guys seen in the workout, right? A lot of pick and roll work, and just learning how to like shift gears and play with different pace, right? I always compare it to like the men's side of the game. Like the top guards, like the Brunsons, the Kyries, like all those guys, they have so many different gears they could shift from. They go fast when they want, they go slow when they want, right? And just learning how to like move the defense in that way. Cause we know, like you were saying, she's seen every type of coverage, right? She's getting blasted on ball screens, right? They're trying to get the ball out of her hand. So learning how to slow down when she wants, to try to make that defense overcommit. Now we go the opposite way and things like that. And then just giving her like a few more finishes when she's getting downhill and things like that. So she has some more tools on her belt.
It's making the other teams adapt to her instead of her having to adapt to the defense that people are throwing at her.
Absolutely.
It reminds
Coach.
me,
Absolutely.
put me out there. No, I'm just kidding. But you talk about that tempo too. I think that will play into the longevity of her career as well, because when you talk about stuff like that, it reminds me of Kobe, actually, because I feel like he mastered that throughout his career of picking and choosing his spots. And he had that endless motor, but he wasn't a guy who every time down the court was sprinting or using, his full dunking ability or obviously it's a little bit different in the women's game, but using all of those explosions every time down the court, as we see maybe a player like Russell Westbrook plays a little bit more on kind of this 100% all the time, which also works for him. But somebody like Kobe has that finesse. And then when he was getting on to the later days in his career, I feel like it kept his body safe as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
like having a lead, be able to rebound it, outlet quick, and then bust it down the floor, right? So like being a great rim runner is a great skill to have, right? You can get like 6 to 10 points a game off that, just rebounding and just busting it down the floor. So yeah, just working on that, getting her comfortable running, but then also having the legs.
Speaking about Aaliyah Boston, I fast forwarded a little bit
jump or like
because
that
he's
little, I
going to
call it a
talk
touch
about
shot, like that joke
what
floater,
style of play the Fever's
in the
gonna
paint.
have.
So yeah, mobility and being able to get up and down the floor and keep up with our guards is going to be super big for next season.
Because that's, I think, what some fans might not realize is like as the game progresses on, especially for post players, like they're inside banging all game. It's, it's physical for the guards because they have their own things to deal with. But for the post players, like they're banging in there. And so their conditioning almost needs to be at that next level to be able to use that strength in the post and then also get down the court and then keep your shooting form the same, because when your legs start getting tired or your arms start getting tired from doing all this work, and that just takes a lot of, it's conditioning, but it's in speed, it's game speed conditioning. You can't just say, get on the track and go run a mile. It's, your title, player development coach, is that you going in, watching film, you're breaking down what you see, and then Coach Stephanie White is kind of giving you that grace to be like, hey, you tell us what you think they need to work on, what they need to improve on? Or is it collective? Is she coming to you and being like, I think so-and-so could work on their mid-range. I think this, this player's left hand needs some work. Yeah. What is that like?
Yeah, so it's a mix of both. So what I've done, I do like player breakdowns. So kind of like last year when we had like Olympic break in the middle. So I made a breakdown during Olympic break for like the second half of the season, and then off season, I always make breakdowns. So like I break down the whole season, percentages, comparing positions to like the top of the league, seeing where they're getting their shots at, right? And then just putting together like a plan of like, okay, I think we need to add maybe this finish, and we need to hit these corner threes more. And I break down everything, make it like a little PDF. Then I send it off to Steph and the coaches, like, hey, what do you guys think? Give me some notes, give me some feedback. And then they give me whatever they want to add to it. And then I also send it to the players and ask them how they're feeling about it. Cause I love to collab with everybody. Not just being like, okay, we're going to do this, this, and this. Like, no, like, how do you feel? Right. Like, I want to make this the best possible experience for everybody involved, right? I don't want to force you to do things, but I want you to understand why we're doing it. So like when we're doing everything, it's super important to teach them and inform them and like, okay, this is why we're doing this, because you have this problem over here. And like, oh, I get it. And now it just makes them want to do it even more. Because, with pros, sometimes you got to, kind of beg them to do things and stuff like that. But just talking, communicating, and collabing is everything that I do as a coach.
Have you worked with?
That is pretty much the interview. You guys can check out the full interview in its entirety on the Rachel Dementa channel. I want to know you guys' thoughts down in the comment section. I thought he shed light on a lot of questions that a lot of basketball personnel and people want to know, especially in preparing Caitlin Clark for the season. More definitely talking about his preparation as a player development coach, what all he do to get ready for the season as well. But these players But I want to know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Keep them bells on. And like always, man, until next time, shake the headers off. I'm out of here. Peace out. Shake the headers.